ML King Day. Senator Sampson is here. Minority Leader, New York State Senate. Senator Sampson. New York State budget comes out tomorrow.
That's right.
What should we expect?
Well, I think we're going to be closing a $2 billion budget deficit. We're going to look for a reduction in spending. We're also going to be looking for the governor's new bold and innovative plans to stimulate economic growth, which translate into bringing more revenue into the state of New York. We're also probably going to be a concentration. The governor's going to call for consolidation, merging of a couple of more agencies. So I think in the realm of education and in healthcare, we're looking at a 4% increase in both education and healthcare.
Okay, education finally. Usually is one of the biggest things that get cut on a regular basis.
It is. Education and healthcare make a little bit over 50% of the $130 or $132 billion budget.
Okay. Youth services.
Youth services. I think that is important. I think we showed our commitment to the whole youth services issue when we came up with the $75 million for the Urban Youth Works program.
And how does that work? Can you explain to our people?
Well, basically through the Department of Labor, we're going to have certain job training activities performed hopefully by non-for-profit groups, but also letting employees know, advertising, letting them know that there are additional tax credits that they can get for hiring these employees and maintaining them at a level of working activity for a certain period of time. They can get, I think it's close to $3,000 per new employee that you hire.
You had a job fair last year.
Correct.
Phenomenal.
It is phenomenal because, there's a lot of people out of work, and the frustration that people have is that we can't get caught up in this, name throwing, or getting caught in these verbal assaults with the Democrats, Republicans, Independents. People want a government that can work together, work with their legislative leaders, and produce results. People will measure you by the results. They don't want to hear the hyperbole. They don't want to hear the rhetoric. Show me how you're going to help me put food on the table. Show me how you're going to help me keep a roof over my head. Show me how I'm going to get access to efficient and quality health care, and show me how my children are going to be able to educate themselves so they can be independent and self-sufficient.
Okay, so we're looking forward to finding a way in this budget to create more jobs. Jobs is the single most biggest issue.
But jobs are a single most important issue, but you need to have an educated workforce in order to maintain those jobs. Because if you don't have an educated workforce, that means that they will be going overseas.
Well, right now we have an assault on the teachers union.
No,
it's unreal. It's unreal. Wisconsin, Virginia, certain states, the union, New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
It's very big. They're really coming after the teachers and trying to cut teachers. I heard one guy in Indiana says he has his master's.
It's not so much the assault on the teachers. You have to break it down, and what you break it down is you see an assault on labor. You see an assault on unions. You talk about Wisconsin. You talk about Illinois. Those are Detroit. Those are states who are trying to break the backs of unions. People forget that the pathway into the middle class has been through the union.
Yes.
Has been through the union work. This is what Martin Luther King was down there in when he got killed. Yes. Dealing with Memphis, Tennessee, dealing with the
sanitation workers. Yes,
sanitation indeed. Workers, because we understand how vital labor unions are to our society. So when you see an assault on the teachers, when you see a assault on members of labor, break it down. This is an assault on the union movement.
Yes, yes. Karl Rove spoke about it. He said if you want to do away with the Democratic Party, do away with the unions. That's our problem. He said the unions is our problem. But
But the unions.
That's what Karl Rove said.
Karl Rove, but I see Karl Rove has no problem when you have that citizen union case.
Citizens United.
Citizens United, where you have a tremendous amount of money coming from corporations.
Of course.
Who are not here in the United States of America. You don't know. There might be money funneling from a terrorist organization, terrorist groups.
Well, that's why we're trying to get this constitutional amendment to abolish that, Citizens United, and that's a good look here. But we're going to flip the next page here. The caucus is coming up.
Yes, it is.
41st?
Next 41st, next February, next month.
Next month?
That's correct.
Okay, we was down there last year. You had the Black Media Conference.
Mm-hmm.
What have came out of that?
Basically, it's the dialogue, showing how supportive we can be of the black media to get the message to our people. Let them understand that, you know, there are other dialogues and other media outlets that you can rely on that brings you not a third of the facts, not a tenth of the facts, but someone who brings you all of the facts. You know, it was interesting to me, you know, I watch Fox, and Fox talks about how, you know, they bring you
fair and balanced.
Fair and balanced. But, you know, I don't know, fair and balanced in their own world means tipping more towards the Republicans than
without a doubt.
You know, so one thing I can say about the black media, they bring you an entire perspective of what's going on, the good and the bad, to allow us listeners to, and those who are watching, those to make an informed decision about the facts that we have seen or we have heard.
Okay. So with this conference, what do we expect?
I guess pretty much the same thing as last year, I think. But this year is a more concerted concentration. This is a presidential year. And this is about talking about economic development. We're talking about making sure that Dr. King's legacy continues. That means increasing the involvement of people into the political realm, understanding that politics plays an important role in all aspects of your life. And politics can dictate your viability. Politics can dictate your future. So what we need to understand is we need to understand the role of politics and how it plays in those different arenas that impact your life on a day-to-day basis.
How is that going to resonate to our district when we understand politics? Because we got to get our people out here voting.
Right.
We got to get our people involved. I mean, we'll watch reality TV, and we can tell you about Jersey girls and basketball wives. But politics play a very big role in our community, and there's a great deal of our community that's really not interested. Because
people don't see how politics plays such a role in the way you breathe and the way you live. They have not been able to put that correlation together to understand that the political decisions that are making are truly having an impact upon the direction of your life.
Every aspect of it.
Every aspect of it. So until we're able to make that correlation, we're always going to think that it does not play a role in the way we live. It does play a role, because I tell a lot of my constituents, especially those we have contacts with the judicial system, you elect those judges who sit on the bench.
Yes.
You elect them.
Yes.
You don't understand the power that you wield by electing these judges who have to come before you and ask you for their support. So we cannot be afraid to ask them certain questions so we can discern their judgment, discern their temperament, and whether or not they're going to be able to treat all of us. As they say, scales of justice are blind, scales of justice are balanced. They have a blindfold over Lady Justice's eyes. However, there always seems to be a hole in that blindfold, and the scales of justice are always tilted against those who are less fortunate, those who don't have. And unfortunately, a lot of times, it's blacks and Hispanics.
We'll be right back.
Thank you.